Core.
What's good? Can you hear me?
Yeah, we good.
Yeah, we good. We live, man. Let's get this in real quick
Yeah,
before I
what's
put the
good with
kiddies to bed. Dez wasn't with us earlier, but he wanted to talk about this, man. No, this was
man?
this
I
was
just
this
was
was
watching.
crazy.
I just was watching it again just now, right before. Just watch it again, man.
It
Like,
was the fight.
yeah, I just watched the fight again, man.
It's crazy.
Oh man, like, yo, like I'm still in a little disbelief, but we talked about it. When we talked about, I think all of us. I know I had Crawford. I mean, I figured it was gonna be a close fight, but I was leaning towards Crawford winning, though. You know what I mean? I just thought, he was a better boxer. You know, I thought he would have to go in his bag more to even beat Spence, but he even had to go orthodox on Spence.
No,
He even he even he didn't even need that. So I thought the fight would come down to him making the better adjustments later on in the fight, and that will ultimately win him the fight. So that's how I thought the fight was going to go. I thought it was going to be kind of close, though. I thought Spence was going to be able to put some pressure on him, land his body shots, because I thought he would be a little bit stronger, but I was wrong about that
right. At
too.
least be competitive.
Yeah, at least be competitive. And but man, like that was a shock right there, man. But it was Spence. I mean, hats off to Spence though too, man. Like he stayed in there. He tried to fight. He
He
wasn't
did
like
try and fight. I
he
give him
tried
that.
to, man. He tried, but he
He
was
just
off his.
wasn't.
Yeah, he didn't have no adjustments. And then when you go back and really think about it, Spence is a pressure fight. Like he never really had to make adjustments. Like
And
like
he
but
never really ran into nobody that
yeah,
punched him in his damn mouth. And then it was like,
exactly.
oh shoot.
He ain't never met a. He ain't never run into a fighter like Bud. And and Spence won all his fights off of being a more pressure fighter, busier. Then break his opponent down. But you see, like when you run into somebody that's like a counter as good as Bud and has a longer reach to you, so you gotta worry about that. And that jab was on fire last night, man. That jab was on like Bud was shoulder rolling up. Man, Bud put on
Man,
a
when he hit him in the second round and dropped him that easy, I said, "Oh, either."
yeah.
I said it's gonna be one or two things. That it's either gonna be Andre Ward versus Kovaloff again, or this is or he got Spence's number.
He just had Spence's number last night, man. So it's like, man. I mean, I know they got the rematch clause, but I don't know what the hell Spence going
Yeah,
to do. Like,
that's just stupid pride talking to you.
I don't know what I mean. You, I believe Spence do want the rematch.
He
I
do.
do believe that. Yeah, I do
Just
believe.
like AB wanted the rematch versus Maidana.
Yeah, exactly. And Bud, it was a clause, so they're going to fight again. I mean, I think it's going to be at 154 now, though.
But is that gonna make a difference?
I don't think it is. No, I'm just saying. Like, I mean, I don't think. Only thing fucking Spence has for him a little bit is like I just think about when Durant beat Leonard the first time, and but we already know how they ended up. Leonard came back and beat the hell out of Durant. I'm not saying. I'm not saying Durant. I mean, Durant is Crawford. I'm just saying, like, Leonard took that bad loss, but came back strong. So maybe Spence can, turn around second fight. But I don't really see it though. Like Crawford ain't even had to make no adjustments. Like even if the fight do go a little different the second time, Crawford is that smart and that good of a boxer to make adjustments. And he still can pull out the fight. You know what I mean? So it's like it's a crazy. Like it was just a wild factor, man. Like Crawford, we had him. I mean, he's number one pound for pound. Like that's why I had him number one though. But he showed everything last night though, bro.
Yeah, Spence gotta let it go.
You don't, you don't
Let
want to
it
see it again?
go. You ever heard that? You ever watched them? What's
The,
that? Was that Frozen with your
yeah, the
kids where they
Frozen
be singing the
movie.
song "Let It Go"?
Yeah.
Let it go. Like he need to let that shit go.
So
And he
you
need
want you wouldn't want to see a rematch?
hell nah. He need to go home and watch Frozen with his daughter and his kids. Watch a couple Disney movies. Sing "Let It Go" with him.
You
Move up to
you want him to
154.
retire?
Nah, move up to 154. Whoop on Keith Thurman. Uh,
Yeah, he can fight Keith Thurman. Yeah, 154.
fight somebody else that's in the top.
Thurman say he trying to get a
154.
shot at though. He say he want a shot at the 147 straps though now. Thurman,
Who?
that's what he been talking about. Thurman.
Yeah, I mean Thurman will get whooped. In my opinion, Thurman will get whooped by Boots Ennis, and he'll get whooped by
Yeah,
the dude that Bud last night. Like
yeah,
Thurman is legit. He's dope. I like him, but he's past his prime.
yeah. He's past his prime. I agree.
Thurman's era was 2014 to about 2017, 2018.
Yeah,
He took that long 3 or 4 years off, and
he never been the same since then. Yeah,
he ain't been the same. And I don't know why. I hate how I hate him. And I know he does a lot for these fighters, but I hate how long these guys have layoffs.
yeah. He had an injury. He did have the shoulder surgery at one point in time. He had injury too, but then he had another layoff too after that.
Right, but these dudes are not built like B Hop and some of the guys before where they'll get ready, or even like Andre Ward. Like I watched that documentary you talked about.
Oh, you watched it? Yeah, good documentary, wasn't it, bro?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, so they're not built like that. So when they're not built like that, I can't sit around and take them seriously when they say I want to do this or I want to do that. And another thing, as I said this earlier, they running their mouth, and I hate how all these people are turning on Derrick James. Oh, he was an overrated trainer. Oh, he wasn't really, and he didn't have no defense. Let me tell you something, Des. I don't give a damn what type of instructions Derrick James would have gave him last night. When he punched Crawford, Crawford ate that shit like a robot and then turned around and punched him, and Earl Spence's head damn near snapped back off of his damn shoulders and went to the second row. So I don't give a so what was the better defense going to do? Just to let him get his ass whooped longer?
Mm-hmm.
Just pad him up a little more to avoid more shots. He wasn't hurting him. He had all the demons in the world. He wasn't hurting this dude, Bud. Bud took that information, like you said, downloaded in the first round. So this shit about to be easy, and that was the end of that. Yeah,
he did. Man, it was masterful, bro. Like, damn, yo, like you said, he ate. Even when Spence did land a load of the little shots he did land, Bud was eating that shit, going through it. Then his defense was beautiful too. He was blocking everything.
And that's another thing. That's usually what happens is Spence. Because so all these people saying he's a flat-footed, no Wi-Fi, he move on. I'm just like, guys. Now, had he won the fight and did like that, then what would y'all have said?
Don't try to say that shit now. Like, no.
Yeah, like, that's who he is.
Right, that's who he always been. Like, y'all motherfuckers just thought spit. But we just underestimated Bud. That's all. It's like everybody gets admitted. Like, we just underestimated Bud a little bit. Like,
that's all. It's just like when the Ravens. But I told somebody that it's just like when the Ravens beat Tom Brady, one of Ray Lewis's last years to go to the Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. When they won at New England, everybody thought New England was going to run through them, and the Ravens hit them with a game plan, shut them down defensively, and New England had no response to it, and that was it. Sometimes that shit just ain't gonna go the way you think it's gonna go, and that's a lot of times what happened. There's a running football team. This team ran for 3,000 yards on every team, or they ran for 300 yards in every game, and then they came against the defense and they ran for 50.
Mm-hmm. Facts,
that's all it was. Like you can't sit there and get mad at Spence for doing what he's been known to good at. Because the first round he was coming forward, he was cracking him. He was coming forward, he was cracking him.
Good first round, yeah.
Bud was taking it, and then the second round he hit him with that awkward ass punch in the face. Remember, I texted him like, did he even where did he hit him at?
You talking about Spence?
Yeah, when Spence got hit in the second round, I'm like, where did Bud hit him, man? The
knockdown?
Yeah, the first knockdown. It was like an awkward punch. And I'm just
it was a two. It was like one to the body. Then he came up top with it just hit him on the butt, and then it was a strong jab. Like Bud said, he was working on his jab all training. Like, and you could tell he put the work in on that jab. Yes, even though it shouldn't knock him down. Like I don't know if Errol was low off balance or what. It shouldn't but it was stiff. But damn, it was it was fast though. You know what I mean?
It's like how do you say? It's like, okay, when you talk to Bud, they say, Bud, what do you think you assess this? This how do you say it, this game plan or this success to? And Bud just turns around and simply says, he says, I've been working my ass off. I've worked harder in this camp than I've worked in anyone in my life. I really, you know, put a lot of work in. I did extreme stuff. And then when you see Spence and you look at the all access, you can see Spencer just going through the motions like, "Yep, I'm gonna do what I've been doing. I'm gonna do the same thing I've been always doing, and it is what it is." And going through the same motions didn't work out. It's a
him and his
different
team was a little overconfident, man. He was talking so much trash leading up to the fight.
Right, Derek James being like, "Oh, I don't need to watch no film, man. You know, we don't watch no film, okay?"
Right. I can't believe you said all that. Just like, we don't really, like, you really not gonna watch film on it. Like, he was too overconfident, man. Errol talking about he gonna break Bud down. He gonna try to break his will.
I mean, he was throwing them body shots, but Bud was taking them
and blocking them, and then
when he got hit with the hit with them counters, he was like, "Oh shit, this ain't no you guys. This is some real power."
The counter game was on point, crazy. Like the second knockdown. No, was it the second knockdown?
It was the second knockdown later. It was like round 7.
It was like a check uppercut when Spence was coming in. And like I might have been around, I forgot what round. It was so pretty though. It was so fast you could see it, but it was a check uppercut. As soon as Spence came in and knocked him down like right before the round. And that's beautiful, bro. It was beautiful.
Right. And that's what makes you mad. Everybody's sitting there screaming, Dez. They're like, "Oh, why he ain't what moving his head? Why he ain't fainting? Why ain't?" If you go back and watch the Kell Brook fight 6 years ago, Earl Spence did the same thing. He walked in, he took punches, he got hit with uppercuts. You know what I'm saying? He did the exact same thing. If you look at him versus Kell Brook.
Yeah.
He literally walked forward, and there was shots he was getting caught with in that Kell Brook fight. And I'm like, why you keep on just taking them shots? But that's what worked, and he closed Kell Brook's eye, and Kell Brook took a knee on it. So everything that everybody's complaining about, this is what Earl Spence has been doing his whole career. It's just this time he couldn't walk through those punches. Just like Mike Tyson when he fought Evander Holyfield. Mike had head movement. He was swimming. It wasn't phasing Evander Holyfield. He had a chin. It wasn't phasing. He got hit by Buster Douglas. It didn't phase Lennox Lewis. Some of them people just don't phase him. Now, what upsets me is I thought Spence was at least strong enough to do what Wilder did. Because when Wilder got whooped, he at least got up and he swung and he dropped him back. I thought he was going to be able to hit him with some ferocious shots. And he never hit him with no ferocious shots. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And, he never hit him with no ferocious shots. He just took it like a champ and kept it moving.
Right. You talking about Spence, right? I mean, Crawford.
Like, okay, remember how I just compared it to Wilder?
Yeah.
When Wilder fought, I sat there and said to myself, I'm like, okay, he fought Fury back. He dropped him back 2 times in a row. And it's like, okay, he going to fight back. He going to hurt him. So I thought at least when Spence got dropped, he was going to get up and be like, I'm going to hit Bud and let him know I'm strong. He would hit Bud, and it did not hurt him.
Didn't phase him at all. So, and Bud was blocking a lot of shit. Like, Bud was, man.
It was a wash.
Yeah, it was a wash. Like, defense, like IQ-wise. And he broke his will, it looked like. Man,
it's like even if he did hit him with a little tough shot.
Yeah.
Even if he did hit him with a little tough shot, Bud just punched him back so hard that Crawford like Bud punched Spencer back, and like his head was just going all over the place. It was like a damn bobblehead. I'm like, man, he cannot handle. I'm sitting there looking like he can't have Bud on nowhere. Like I like how he kept getting up. I didn't like the referee stoppage because I don't want to hear nobody's complaint. But at the end of the day, when people like, man, he dropped that man damn near 3-4 times. He doing the stinky leg. He tiptoeing. His head going left and right. It's like, man.
Then he was busted up on top of that.
Some people was mad at Derek James for not stopping. I'm like, no, Derek James did the right thing.
No, Derek James definitely did the right thing.
Because everybody would have blamed him if Derek James didn't stop it. And then all them other channels that's biased and they Spence would have been able to say, I wish my trainer didn't stop it. Derek James like, nope, I'm gonna go ahead and let you get lumped up. Right. But I mean, you look at man, when you see Earl Spence's domination at this point, all you can do is sit back and laugh like, man, hey, Terence Bud Crawford beat him up, and you see why Al Heyman the PBC and all of them was like, man, let me wait for this fight because I don't want. They thought maybe Bud would maybe be out of his
out of his prime by
comfort
now.
zone, kind of like certain other people when they get later in their career.
Right.
And he got later in his career, and that shit didn't work.
That shit didn't work at all.
This is also another learning lesson, Des. We seen this once before with Deontay Wilder and Anthony Joshua. We saw it with somebody else. I can't think right now. Just because you wait till the last second or later in your career does not mean that will equate to success.
Right.
And you had if Earl Spence fights him in 2018 rather than in 2023, pre 2 car accidents, it may have been a different fight. But
you don't think it's the same after the car accidents?
No, I'm not even going to use it as an excuse, but it's just like that took a toll on his body. Mm-hmm. Don't forget, what did Earl Spence pull out of the Pacquiao fight for?
What
remember, he was supposed to fight Pacquiao,
right?
2021.
Yeah, he pulled out of that fight.
Pulled out because of the eye surgery.
Oh yeah, the eye surgery. That's right. Yeah. He had to get surgery to his jaw too, I believe too. Like
he's been in 2 car accidents, 2 eye surgeries. So in 2018, when you was at your height and you was hot and you was fighting people in Dallas Cowboy Stadium, right after the Mikey Garcia fight, it probably would have been your best chance at beating Bud. You might not have beat Bud, but at least it would have been competitive.
Okay, yeah, I could see that. Yeah,
it would have been. I think it would have been better than this, but this Earl, I mean, by the way he got rocked by you guys, because even when he got rocked by you guys, in the back of my head, I'm sitting there thinking like, damn, you guys, you an idiot or something? Like you see him rocked, why you just stand there and not do nothing?
Yeah, it was kind of weird. He beat the shit out of Ugas though.
Huh?
He wound up beating the shit out of Ugas.
He beat the crap out of Ugas, but remember, later on he would come forward and you thought. Yeah. You guys, though, when he came forward, you guys was hurting Spence, but then Spence would throw back.
Right.
That was not the case last night. When he threw back and he started coming harder, what did Bud do?
Man, Bud was on a whole different level, man. You could just tell he was focused with this fight, man. That trainer cat did him well.
Bud told him, like in that text message you sent me last night, hey, this power is different.
Mm-hmm.
This ain't gonna be no you guys where he hits you and you hit him back and then he hit you, but then when you crack him, he like, oh shoot, you wobble me. He ain't wobble. Yeah. He did not wobble that man at all.
I felt like Bud was taking it easy on him at certain parts in the fight, man. Honestly,
so a lot of people saying Bud like felt bad for him. He carried him. I feel like one time he tapped him in the middle of the ring, of the afternoon. Like, you all right?
That round where he knocked him down twice in the ring. You feel me? He you try to kind of checked on him a little bit. Like, man, I'm beating your ass in here. Like, yo,
hey man, beat the shit out of him, man. Like,
I haven't seen a fight that lopsided that's been a supposedly 50-50 fight in a long
time. And this is what people thought that Manny Pacquiao was going to do to Floyd, but Floyd took them, and now people comparing, but Floyd took them shots, and before people start comparing Bud to Floyd, listen, Floyd was the last generation, Bud is this generation, and I want everybody to remember, Floyd been in there with Canelo, he been in there with Shane Mosley. He been in there with Miguel Cotto. Floyd been in there with some damn middleweight dudes and take punches.
Yeah,
I think Crawford is good, but you got to remember Floyd Mayweather is next level. The second you think that this guy is good enough for Floyd will outmaster them.
Mm-hmm. Floyd still got the best IQ ever.
That's what I'm saying. No matter how you want to put it, Bud is excellent. Floyd will find a way to win. Them shots that Earl Spence was getting hit with, them wasn't going to touch Floyd.
Oh yeah, they weren't going to touch. Floyd would have been on his toes, moving around. It would have been a good fight to see. I just think, I still don't. I mean, I just don't see nobody really beating Floyd. You feel me? I think it would have been a good.
Remember, this man took hits from Canelo and freaking Shane Mosley.
Yeah.
And Miguel, Floyd took punishment from guys that were way bigger than him.
Mm-hmm. But but I do respect, Bud, 2-time undisputed, 2 different weight classes. Floyd didn't do that, so
Nah, Floyd just got whatever the money was
Floyd
at.
just got the money, and I'm not gonna say Floyd. Floyd definitely, did it. He fought top opposition, but he never did what Crawford doing that. And Crawford, all right, let's see if Crawford grows. Crawford 30, 40 and 0 now, right?
Right.
Let's see if Crawford. I don't see him having too many more fights left.
He might go 34, 35, and no, he ain't gonna go 50.
I see him. I see him fight maybe like 3 more times. The L rematch. He'll fight Charlo. Say if he beats Charlo at 154, and then becomes, or if Charlo vacates, whatever happens after the Canelo and Charlo fight. I think Charlo's gonna lose that though. But say if he fights Charlo for the belts, beats Charlo, that's 3 weight class undisputed. No, like nobody never you're gonna have to put him right up there. But Grace though,
I think Bud fights. Charlo, Keith Thurman, and then he fights Tim Tszyu, and I think he retires, something like that.
Something like that, yeah.
I don't think he even wastes his. I mean, it's a waste. I'm not paying $80 for him to beat up Earl Spence again.
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't either. But, I mean, if Errol wants to fight, I think it's going. Bud already said at his point, he's like, man, yeah, I'll fight him at 154. He said it was hard. I'm surprised Bud said it was hard for him to make 147 too.
That's why I said I ain't trying to hear that.
Bud might be bigger than people think he is. Like, everybody think he thought he
was small for work. Everybody was talking about Spence was the bigger fighter and all this bull crap. Let me tell you something. Bud Crawford looked way bigger than Spence last night. Way bigger.
I mean, he does have a longer reach too. On top of that, though.
And yeah, I already told him. My wife over here screaming, say the comment about how he looked like the older brother being the little brother. Like, yeah, I said that.
Yeah,
I said that already. Like he literally and then this was what drove me crazy, Des. All the years I'm watching boxing, why did that man keep leaving his jaw wide open like that? I'm sitting there like, dog, you couldn't hit with the same punch every time. Mm-hmm. Most importantly, when you're the shorter fighter and that guy got a reach on you, your ass is to get him against the ropes, get him in the corner, and that's when you unload.
He's taller than Crawford, though.
Who is?
Best taller than Crawford.
It didn't look like it last night.
I think he got him by like an inch, though. If I
had to watch it again and see.
Yeah,
then that means that why the hell was he? Why was he bent down so hard? Then he made him look tall about it the way he was walking forward and bending down. And then you're doing all that bending down and shit, and you're still getting hit.
Exactly. Yeah, I don't know why he made himself fight smaller. Bud do got long arms. He got the
right. So that's why you got to bully him against the ropes. You got to come forward, move side to side, and try and find a way to get him against the ropes, and then unload on him, and then clinch and do that. But you just keep letting him counter jab you. Man, he was getting his ass whooped, man.
But as far as size wise though, they were the same. Like, Bud looked a little stronger. Like Spence looked a little slim, like, a little bit of weak. Bud looked stroong.
Yeah, Bud looked big and strong as shit.
Yeah, he looked strong, and he looked like, man. I just think like we were saying about Bud. Spence's training camp. Like, I think he just glossed over who he was fighting and thought he had this in the bag. Like, they were too cocky, all that stuff in the post press conference and all that. Like, he just did.
I ain't even gonna watch film on him.
And then Spence keep wanting to say, "Oh, he's the A side. He pissed them butts in the seats." Like, who cares about that? Y'all about to scrap right now.
70-30, 80-20.
Yeah, like nobody cares
fish,
about
all
that
stuff. And then they having a fish fry in a parade and
yeah, you already know, big fish fry. Omaha, big fish fry, man.
Right, his ass went for the Barracudas last night. And then
but
somebody said when he came out to Eminem, it reminded them in the 80s when fighters would come out to Phil Collins, I Can Feel It in the Air Tonight.
That was the perfect song. He was focused. Him bringing Eminem out was big. Like you better not lose this fight coming out with Eminem, though. He was ready. Like, that was up.
But the way Bud's confidence was walking, it's like he knew he wasn't going to lose.
Yeah. He said he felt his first, at the end of the first round, he felt like he was strong, and he proved that. Like I said, I was wrong about. I don't think nobody really expected Well, I ain't gonna lie. One person did call this, yo. Guess who? Your boy called this fight exactly how it was going down there. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna give him his props. Your boy Tim Bradley.
He
He called it. He said he was gonna make Spence be over aggressive and he was gonna start catching him coming in between shots. He said it exactly how it went down. Tim Bradley was exactly right about this fight. I ain't gonna lie, your boy, he was on point about. He said he was gonna stop him. He said Bud was gonna stop Spence.
And shout out to Bomac. Bomac had the best comment of the last night. He said, "Y'all said I eat too many cheeseburgers, too many Big Macs. Well, guess what? I got that knowledge."
Yeah,
and I whooped him. And Bomac, he did. They went there and he whooped him. I was worried about who looked good and who got this suit on and who's this and who that. And Bomac just went there and trained and walked out with his Big Macs and his cheeseburger. I'm like, now, bitch, I don't care about you being a vegan or being a Buddhist or none of that. Whatever you ain't do, I'm about to whoop your. I'm about to have get your ass whooped tonight. That's what's going to happen.
That was beautiful, man. Bomac in the corner one time, he was like, "Yeah, he keep trying to do that shit, that little shit. It ain't working." So,
it wasn't. It wasn't
working. That shit is not working, man.
It's not working.
But
like you said before, like don't sit there and all of a sudden try and shit on Derrick James. Like I hate when people do that already. Derrick James was always overrated. Derrick James was always this or Derrick James is that. Look, Derrick James is who we thought he was.
Oh yeah, so
it's that simple. It's that simple. Derrick James is who we thought he was. You can't sit around and all of a sudden say, "Oh, well, Derrick James this and Derrick James that," and it's just like, look, man. Derrick James got trainer of the year. He's got all them fighters for a reason. He's a hell of a trainer, but last night he came up short. And
man.
Like you said, Errol Spence has been fighting like this for damn near 7 years. He's been talking about Floyd back to Chris Algieri in 2014 when people was talking about how great he was to the fight against Kell Brook. He fought the same way. The difference was Earl could eat this is what it is. It's a give and take. When you have a football team, it's a give and take. You have great offense, but you're going to give up this for that. Like you be like, I got a great tight end, so I'm going to give up a great running game because my tight end is going to be the X factor. I'm going to give up this because this is my X factor. This is what's best for me. Earl Spence for his whole career has given up. I'll take these shots because when I deliver these shots, they're going to be so powerful. I'm going to hurt somebody. Last night he gave up them shots and that shit didn't work and had him doing a stanky leg.
Exactly, yo. Like
that was the give and take.
He just came across a fighter who was different, man. Like,
right.
And when you go back to think about it, like, you know, even though we thought the fight was going to be close, like, if you really break it down, like we said, Spence only could fight one way if you really think about it. Bud could fight so many different ways, and he has a longer reach. So it's like we should have known it could have been a chance he could dominate, you know, right? If you really go back and look at it. But like I said, we just ain't think it was going to be like, because Spencer's a dog, man. Like, before this fight, like, don't get it wrong, like, Spencer's in there. I mean, he stayed in there. He was getting busted up, but sometimes you just run across a different fighter, and some dudes just
ran across some different shit last night too.
Like my boy Fulton did with Inouye, man. Like he just ran across somebody.
He shouldn't have went over there. If he was gonna lose, he should have lost over here.
He should have lost over here. Like you got to take that 7,000-mile trip back with that.
Yeah. Hey, listen to this real quick, Dad. Listen to this real quick.
Okay.
He didn't have a fucking round. Okay. He didn't even touch Bud. I'm talking about that knowledge.
Knowledge.
I give respect. Hey, Bomac, do you feel like Derrick should have stopped the fight? He should have never signed the contract.
Yo, who was that?
Hey, Bomac was talking this shit.
Oh yeah, man. He knew he had that shit in the bag, man. He just knew it. Man. Damn, that was like. But I'm glad it was a great fight. I'm glad it was either like. I'm glad it wasn't like no.
Controversial decision.
Yeah, even though, I'm glad it wasn't a controversial decision, and I'm glad that we got like some violence in the fight. Like, I love Mayweather, but Mayweather and Pacquiao was like, we waited for that fight so long, it was kind of underwhelming. You know what I mean? And
But it was
that
with
fight.
Floyd, but that was the only way Floyd was going to beat Pacquiao. He wasn't going to beat him by
Oh yeah, I
trying to throw
believe it. Yeah,
punches and
don't get me
being
wrong.
aggressive. He was going to beat him by
No, I
defense.
believe I believe it's not even Mayweather fault that fight was like that. I just think he was that much better than Pacquiao. Like, and Pacquiao, and we just thought gave Pacquiao too much credit. You feel me? I don't blame why that fight was like that for Floyd. I blame that for Pacquiao not being better than what he was. He couldn't even touch Floyd. Like, if you ain't gonna touch him, like, why Floyd to switch it up? So I'm not even blaming. It was kind of like how, but at least Spence will come in there and like try to fight, like, and try to like get in there. Like, Pacquiao couldn't get in there to do that to Floyd. You know what I mean? So I'm not worried, but it just was like it was tailor made to be a violent fight. You know what I mean? And I'm glad that we got that.
He definitely didn't leave it up to the judges. He said, "The hell with this! I'm not leaving it up to the judges." I'm just so shook on how Bud just downloaded that input in the first round, and he was like, "All right,
it's time to go."
It hurt me, and and even in the first round, when he threw back, it was like, that was crazy, man.
Yeah,
he beat this. I mean, excuse my language. He beat the shit out of Spence.
Bad, bro. Like,
he beat the shit out of Earl Spence, man.
Like,
he whooped. He the definition of ass whooping. He whooped his ass.
He looked at just how Martin was when he fought Tommy Hearn. Like, we say that a lot, but then he really looked like that. Like, bro, like, he even had the bush, like the hair, like Martin when he fought Tommy Hearn. Like, how that mask was. Like, man, that was a. Man, did you see Charlo facing the crowd the whole time?
Did you see Bud talking shit to Charlo after he knocked him down? Like, you next. You talking reckless now, but you next. I'm gonna go ahead and let you get your ass whooped by Canelo. Then I'm gonna let you come down here and I'm gonna whoop you next.
Right.
Like, you next.
Right. Yeah, he's definitely next. Like, man, Charlo, because like the angle the fight was on, Charlo was right behind the camera. So I'm looking at the fight. I'm looking at Charlo the whole fight. Charlo just got this mad, like, salty face the whole fight. I'm cracking up the whole time watching the fight, looking at Charlo, man. I was like, yo, this dude.
And both Charlos there, both of us were sorry. So I could see the look on Jamel's face, like, my boy, man. We got the same trainer, and he just like, yep. And I'm gonna whoop your ass too.
He was salty. I can't wait till he whoop Charlo. Man, the Charlos, man, I used to like them when he first came in. But I'm starting to dislike those dudes now, man.
I like Jamel because Jamel back it up. Jamal got to just he got to get up off his ass. He got to get his personal life together. He got to get back in the ring. Got stepped up because when they first came in, they was real humble, and then when they started getting money, they got outrageously cocky.
You too a little bit too cocky, right? And Jamal got slapped by Caleb Plant. He better sign that contract ASAP.
Yeah, he tripping if he don't fight Caleb Plant.
Man, if he don't fight Caleb Plant, if Caleb Plant don't be his next fight, like right now, that's crazy. Like, bro, he slapped you on camera in front of, and it was a hard slap too. Like, yo, like it was a hard slap too, but like it was crazy. So I was like, they need to fight. They need to go ahead and fight. But yeah, man, it was a great fight though, man. I love the fight. Bud did his thing. He's different. He #1 pound for pound. I'm glad he got his props now. He did on the big stage because he couldn't get in all these fights early in his career. He tried to wait till he got old. He's still the man. And hats off to the boy Bud though. You feel me?
Yeah, that was, man.
You still can't believe it's disbelief, ain't it, bro? It's
he
really
slaughtered that man.
It's really disbelief, yo. It's really
like he slaughtered that man.
He made him like an amateur. He made him like
I just couldn't believe. And then when Spence was coming forward, I was like, I know Spence. I know Spence gonna get one punch in. He gonna get one good punch in, and he would throw hard as shit. And I'd be like, yeah, that rocked him. And then Bud would just throw one punch, and then Spence just to start dancing her. Like, you remember when you watched Looney Tunes? Or you remember when you watch Glass Joe and Glass Joe would do all that extra stuff, and then you'd punch him with Mike Pop, and then he go doo-doo. Like that's literally what Spence was doing. Like he would go side to side, left to right.
Yeah, he was beating him across the ring. Like, yeah, he was just like pushing him, beating him across the ring, man. Body shots too. Them body shots was vicious too, man. Like Bud just had everything going last night. And he's impressive, man. He got the second longest knockout streak, which is crazy. And he knocked out everybody at welterweight. Like, what more can you say about it?
I don't have nothing else bad to say about
you can't, man. You can't.
Terence Bud Crawford. He beat, you know, he beat the shit out of Earl Spence Jr. It ain't nothing else we can do but move forward.
Mm-hmm.
We touched on Fulton. Plant got whooped. Plant slapped the shit out of the dude.
Right.
We got Jamel coming up. Other than that, Joshua versus Dillian White. I'm not impressed. I don't want to see that shit.
I ain't really too anxious. I'll watch it because that's what we do.
Yeah, I want to watch Usyk versus Dubois.
Yeah,
we all know Tyson Fury is ducking Usyk at this point.
Yeah, Tyson got the UFC fight coming up.
Tyson gonna fight in Donahue because he think that's a little bit easier and it's a little bit low reward. It's in Saudi. He gonna get a big paycheck.
Yeah, with a big paycheck. Yeah,
you know, but he better be aware for that. But I mean, other than that, you know, what other fights are you excited for? I mean, I'll say this before we roll because it's close to 10. Where you at for sure? I gotta throw my little one in the shower, but listen, what's his name? Fury is ducking that man Usyk. I'm not watching Jake Paul. I'll let you tell me about it, Jake Paul, because he's back to his old game plan where he like, yo, I can't. I finally had to fight a boxer and I lost.
Yeah.
So he's back to his same new bullshit game plan.
Mm-hmm.
I don't like Devin Haney not fighting
Shakur.
And Twan said earlier, well, I think it's hard for him to make the weight. And you could tell it was draining him and all that other stuff, and he was getting bigger. But my thing is,
if that's the case, don't hold on to the belts then.
Yeah, don't hold on to the belts, and don't fight Lomachenko. Just go up to 140 before you do that, because you know I think he needs to rematch Lomachenko. And I think he needs to check Shakur. Shakur is walking around very confident and cocky right now.
Yes.
Shakur thinks he can beat everybody.
And you like Devin over Shakur, which is crazy still, but okay.
Well, I mean, I like Devin over Shakur because I watched Devin's come up from Showbox all the way back to 2016, 2017 when he was fighting in Mexico. Shakur went to the Olympics and then he went straight to get a contract with Top Rank. I like Devin's come up a little more because he had to grind.
Yeah, he had to grind it out. I agree with you with that. Yeah.
Devin's grind I like more. But the thing is with Shakur though,
Devin's about to fight Prograis though.
That's what I heard. But if Shakur is working with Bud, sheesh. I don't know what Devin gonna do, but styles make fights. Devin make. Let's speak on this real quick. What was that shit with Isaac Baby before?
What happened? Hold on, what happened?
All them damn haymakers and shit. Like, what was that crap?
Who?
Pitbull and that Cabrera dude the fight before the main event.
I didn't get to see that fight too much. I was working so late last night. I didn't get to the fight party right before. I watched like the last 3 rounds of Cruz, but I was like not really kind of watching it and shit. So I got to go back and watch that. But what like Cruz won, right? Right?
Yeah. Cruz won by decision, but they actually split decision. Some people gave about 1 point to the other dude. Listen, this Cabrera dude, watch the fight. He was coming forward. He was getting punched in his mouth, and he was taking them shots.
Right. I do remember.
He was just like, and then afterwards, after getting his jaw beat up, he was beat on his chest, and he raised his hand at the end, like, yeah, Cruz. So everybody was saying they think Tank should fight Pitbull Cruz next. No, I think Tank. He'll figure out an opponent. He doesn't know, but they're
talking about. I think this is a tune-up fight though for him because you know it's supposed to be. His rumors is supposed to be Chris Colbert.
He gonna knock Chris Colbert.
He gonna knock. Yeah, I think it's just a tune-up for you getting out of jail. He want to fight one more time this year. I think he's just taking it as
he might as well have that in New York because Chris Colbert from Brooklyn. Tank got a big following in Brooklyn.
You know how he fought Hector Garcia before Ryan, so I think he's gonna get Colbert out of there, get his bag, make a good show. At the end of that, I think he's gonna fight for the belt. I think he's gonna try to let see what's going to happen between So Devin, that's what I'm saying. If Devin's going to move up he's moving up the fight program 140, but he's telling WBC that he's only going to vacate one of the belts, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. I had to go back and
is it just the WBC?
Yeah, I think he's vacating one, but the other two he's trying to keep. So it's like he's trying.
Well,
so he's
why don't
saying,
you just fight Shakur then? Like, just fight Shakur.
Saying. He's saying him and Shakur was beefing on Twitter the other night. I was reading it, and he was saying he's going to come back down to 135 to fight him. That's what he says.
Like, fight him now then.
That's what I'm saying. I think he
full of crap. Like I love Haney. You know, I've always been team.
Yeah,
Haney.
I know that's your boy.
But it's just like you like, come on, dog. I can only take up a voucher so long.
Right.
Like what's the point of moving up and coming back down? It's gonna be even harder to make the weight if you go down.
Bro, it's either that or you're gonna have to fight Tank. You feel me?
He ain't gonna do that. He ain't gonna do that.
That's what I'm
He's
saying.
gonna fight.
Either like, what would you rather him do? You want him to go to 140 like for good and vacate the belt?
This is what he gonna do. Since when I seen he didn't fight Shakur, because when the WBC mandated it, I was like, okay, now Shakur can't say he ducking for a mount because it's mandated. So Shakur going to take whatever money there. Right. This is what he gonna do. He gonna hold on to the 135 belts. He gonna go up to 140. He gonna fight Prograis. After he fight Prograis, he gonna have a tune-up. Then after the tune-up, he gonna fight Teofimo Lopez, and then he gonna move up to 140, and then he gonna fight Devin or Tank down. I don't see him fighting Devin. I don't see Devin fighting Tank or Shakur for like 2 or 3 or 4 years. Like, it's gonna build up like this fight.
Oh man. Okay, I can. Damn. I hope it don't go like that though. I hope it doesn't go. I can see. I hope it doesn't go like that.
But it is, and like we saw last night. When you drag that out, you don't know what the future holds.
Exactly.
Earl Spence was a totally different fighter in 2018.
But in between that time, then, like, it's still got to be some big fights made. Like, it either got to be Shakur, Tank, or something like that, or Shakur, Lomachenko. It got to be something in between that time. You feel me? Like, 2-3 years.
Like you said, now we still trying to figure out. Okay, so we figured out who was the best in them welterweights. Because there was that time Floyd was on the back end of the career, and it was all these new guys. It was Bud, it was Spence, it was maybe Broner, it was Keith Thurman, it was Danny Garcia. It was a bunch of dudes on that. Like, they was promoting when PBC first started. Like, okay, these are new. It was Sean Porter. It was that new generation of 147 fighters, and we saw that Bud is that. Right now, we're trying to find out between Tank, between Devin Haney, between Shakur Stevenson, between Teofimo Lopez. We trying to find out who is that guy out of those 4 or those 5 who's supposed to be legit.
Right.
Want to find out, sooner or later. But I'm telling you now, the later y'all all plan to fight each other, Ryan Garcia already took his lick.
Yeah, so, and I respect him for that.
Got nothing to worry about. He took his lick. He's gonna be solidified because he didn't run. But now the other 4, they're gonna have to figure out who's the king in this division, and they all going to fight just like Showtime, Sean Porter, Terence Bud Crawford, Earl Spence, Danny Garcia, Keith Thurman. They're gonna all have to fight like they. And I'm gonna say this to Keith Thurman. I like Keith Thurman. I was a fan of Keith Thurman, but that he said the other day, I'm used to whooping on Philly boys. Jerron Boots Ennis will put your ass.
Oh man. I forgot he said that. I was about to tell you he said that, man. He said he used to whip it up on Philly boys, man.
Not that one.
Yeah, I don't got him beating Boots at this point in his career no more either. He never looked impressive on his last couple wins, and his layoffs are too long in between.
I think he was all right against Barrios, but he wasn't great. Boots will put him to sleep.
Yeah, and I didn't like and Spence last fight was 15 months ago. That was another thing for Spence. We
talked about that earlier. You can't be like, okay, so like when he fought you guys, he should have turned right back around and fought Stanionis, Ortiz, or fought.
He was too cocky. What he was saying, he said, "I don't need a tune-up." He said,
or even fight Thurman, fight Thurman at 150. If he'd fought Thurman at 154 in February, and
that would have been cool.
And then turned around and fought him. I don't think he would have won, but his performance would have been better.
Would have been better.
The fact that he, turned around and he did that horse crap and then he jumped in and then like I said before, even with the whole Al Heyman thing, I like him, but you can't have these dudes off 17, 18 months and they prime.
Yeah.
And then it's the late prime too, because they early 30s. They're not mid, early 20s anymore. Like they gotta be busy.
But
that's
that
why
was
I
his
think
decision, though, Corey. That was, I believe, if he wanted to fight, he could have fought. But that was his decision. Remember, he was talking shit. He said he don't do tune-ups. He didn't need a tune-up. That's what I'm saying. He really played with Bud. Like Bud wasn't that. You know what I mean? And it backfired on his ass. I bet you he wished he would have fought at least one more time, like Bud did. Even Bud took a tune-up. He
beat the crap out of Avenesian.
Yeah, he beat the shit out of somebody before, but he knew he needed that fight before. And everybody got in Bud ass for taking that fight. You know what I mean? And I didn't. I mean, I think we all wanted to fight around that time. But
that was that little BLK Prime era where
it
made him look like it was going to be BLK Prime, and I think Bud understood that if I want to get this fight, I'm gonna have to go with PBC.
Yeah.
And PBC still don't like him, so if I'm Bud, I wouldn't rock with them like that. I would get some more money out of him, like on some Canelo dude, Keith Thurman, and then I get up out of there and be a free agent.
Right, he should be a free agent, man. He can make it. He gonna have leverage now because off of this performance anyway. So I would like you said, one more fight, maybe the rematch. If Spence say he's gonna take the rematch, and then after that, yeah, he's gonna
go fight Keith Thurman, or he better go fight Julian J. Rock Williams or some shit like that.
J. Rock,
whatever the dude was that just beat up. What's the dude that just beat J. Rock? Whoever that dude is.
I forgot his name.
He better go fight some shit like that. He better stay far away from Bud Crawford.
He gotta try to get his lick back, man. He can't go out like that, yo.
Listen, you know what? You know
what
what
I'm saying? Like, if he goes to 154, but Bud's going to 154 too, so it's like he can't.
What is that going to do? You wasn't hurting Bud.
I know. That's why it's crazy.
Bud gonna be strong. He gonna batter you more. Man, leave that shit alone. This ain't B-Hop Roy Jones. You come back 10 years later, leave that shit alone.
Yeah,
it's okay to be wrong. It's okay to be like, all right, it's the next step in my career. Next step, just like T.O. Lopez. Did T.O. do the Cambosis rematch and he could have did it? Nope. He was like, I'm gonna go ahead and step up and fight Sandor Martin, and then I'm gonna go ahead and beat Josh Taylor and become undisputed. Sometimes styles make fights, and you got to say, all right, I took that lick, I'm moving on.
Yeah.
You don't sit there and be like, you know how to remember in Belly when he was shaking back for you gonna get yours, B.
Yeah.
Get yours. Like you can't do that shit. Sometimes you gotta just let that go and be like, yo, I lost. Like it's over with, bro. It's over. And I'm not saying he should just quit, but it's just like it was so lopsided and you were so outclassed that it's just like I may look at it in 2 or 3 years or something like that if you do something else. And this is why Jermell Charlo was mad for real. This is why he's mad for real.
He lost money too.
I'll tell you why this is because he always talking about how Earl Spence be whooping on him in sparring, right?
Right.
He seen what that man did to Earl Spence, and that's why he's standing up, bouncing around, and he like, yeah, you know you about to get your ass whooped, dog.
He deserved that ass whooping from Bud. Bud is coming, yo. Bud is coming from them belts. He about to chase greatness. He gonna be, if he does that, man, I mean, he gonna be top 10. Like, you feel me? You gotta throw him in the top 10 probably all time if he does that.
Yeah. He's the best of this generation, you know.
Yeah.
Fury was all right for heavyweight, this and that. Like I said before, like there's certain people that you look at and you be like, okay, they was the best generation, they didn't let it go. And I hope, and I really hope other fighters take heed from this and say, if you try that waiting game like Floyd did with Pacquiao, that shit might backfire on you. And we've seen it with Wilder and so many other people. Like you better understand that it could be a totally different game. I think Devin and Teofimo Lopez learned that too. Who you got winning? You got Prograis or you got Devin beating Prograis?
I got Devin beating Prograis.
Yeah, I think Prograis is too slow and not athletic.
Yeah, I think he's a little bit too. He's tough though. I think Prograis a little awkward though. I think Devin could deal with that though. I'm trying to think if anything Prograis can do to try.
I mean, Josh Taylor dismantled Prograis, and
yeah,
you know, Regis is an excellent fighter, but I don't know if he's on that
Yeah. What I do like for Reed is he's ready for the fight. He wants it. I think he's gonna go in there and pressure. I think Devin's gonna maybe have to try to figure him out a little bit later in the later rounds probably. But we know how Devin fight. Devin gonna win on them points. He's gonna, outbox him. He's definitely gonna outbox Pro Gray. Yeah, I got Devin winning that. I think it's gonna be another close fight though. I don't think Devin gonna win.
It's either gonna be a close fight or Devin gonna pull away in the later rounds and win like 8-4.
Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, what Kambosos like, because even with them Kambosos fights, the first 5 rounds, Devin figured him out. Then after that, he just smoked him.
Oh yeah, man. I don't even want to talk about Kambosos, man. I can't believe they gave him that fight.
Yeah,
the other night, man.
That's politics. And then you see how Shakur was talking to him.
Shakur would smoke Kambosos.
He would, but the thing is, Devin. I mean, the thing is, Des, it's boxing. You just don't know. Kambosos might come in there like he did against Tio and be like, "Man, I'm on myself," because that's Kambosos' fault. I did a video about it, and I'm sitting there saying like, Kambosos, when you get beat up, when you sit around and you try and think and you try and be like Devin Haney and you try to
box,
who you are is I take some shots and then I deliver some shots like you did against Teofimo Lopez. You're a brawler.
So you think you have a chance against Shakur?
Slick Buncer. You are a ferocious George Kambosos. Go in there and swing them haymakers, and you got a better chance at winning than trying to sit around and be slick. Because Maxie Hughes was slick. Kambosos would have been better if he would have just been on the gas.
Brawler, yeah. Well, that was his fault. Then it was his fault. He came in there with that bullshit.
Go look at him versus Tio Lopez. Go look at him.
I seen it. He put on. Okay, he beat Tio, but on some real shit though. Do you think he could beat Tio again? Like, I just think Tio.
I don't know.
I
don't know because
underestimated him, bro.
I mean, you think though, there's some fighters just got fighters' numbers.
I think Tio will beat the hell out of Kambosos in this fight again. Like,
because listen to me, Kambosos hurts him. If Kambosos hurts him, Des, it'll bring back flashbacks.
and then he knocked Tio down. Like, sometimes when fighters go down for the first time in their career, he can't really come back. Like when Terence knocked down Spence, you seen in Spence's face, like Spence was flabbergasted, bro. Like, you didn't even know what the fuck. Like, you could tell he was like hurt, shot. He didn't really recover from the first knockdown. Same thing with Tio. Tio never recovered from that knockdown. Like, mind you, it was early in the fight too. He never recovered from that knockdown, bro. So it's like, I think if the fight goes different, he'll beat the shit out of Kambosos if he fight again. But that's just me.
See, here's why I don't know, and it's just me being real. If Kambosos do what he did in that fight, it's not going to be a problem for Kambosos because Kambosos, what he did in that Tio fight is he didn't try and think. Tio hit him hard and he hit him back hard.
Yeah, he did. His counter punching was good.
Did that against Maxie Hughes, he would have knocked Maxie Hughes back. He's supposed to be like, oh, I got hit. All right, let me keep coming forward. Let me take 2 or 3. Now I'm gonna do this ferocious hard haymaker swing, and I'm gonna put you on your butt.
Yeah,
he didn't do that.
Yeah,
like think about it. The first fight against Devin Haney, he did better than in the second fight. He just got dismantled because you could tell he was. Remember all the goofy stuff he was doing in the second fight, the fake fainting and You're not a footwork feint guy. You're a bruiser. That's not you, dog.
He got a lot of flaws in his game too right now. He got to fix though. He got a lot. He did a lot of flaws in that Maxie fight, yo. Like, I don't think he would. I think Shakur dominates him if they fight. He should fight. I mean,
he could, but it's boxing, and if he, you never know. If he swing and he cracks Shakur,
we'll see. Yeah, I would like to see it. I mean, Shakur not gonna get that Haney fight. He might as well
Shakur needs to fight Loma. That's what I want to see. Either Shakur fights Loma.
Kambosos is trying to get that fight for some reason. I'm like, why are you so?
They want Loma to get an easy tune-up win.
Kambosos one reaching for that fight though. Like, I don't know why he wants that fight so bad. Like, I think he just wants another big payday because ain't no way.
I ain't mad at him.
I ain't mad at him either. But he needed. Yeah, But I don't think he really think he could beat Lomachenko.
I don't think he should fight Shakur. I'd rather watch Kambosos fight Lomachenko. Lomachenko get an easy win. But Shakur, just like, man, that's going to be like that's going to be like over in 3 rounds.
Yeah, Shakur got to fight. But Shakur will fight You say he'll fight Loma too and Campbell. Shakur need to fight another one at 135. I just want him to see fight.
Shakur need to fight Lomachenko because if Shakur beats up Lomachenko, that is show like okay, Devin.
That would settle the fight for Devin.
That like you can't run no more because he beat him, and I think Shakur is so confident in the way he's fighting right now. He'll give, but he's saying he ain't gonna get the fight unless Lomachenko accept it. Like it has to be belts on the line, and Lomachenko won't accept it.
Yeah, Lomachenko not gonna fight unless the belts is on the line. So Lomachenko's still looking for that Devin rematch, and I don't think he's even gonna get that.
No, Devin is out of there. Devin ain't trying to do that again.
Yeah.
Devin gonna play his cards as to where he fight a big name and he dominant, and then until it gets to a point where it's nobody left except Shakur or Tank.
Mm-hmm.
And that's gonna be 3 or 4 years from now. But he better stop playing around because that also could backfire, and you could catch out with like what happened with Teofimo Lopez outbidding himself and then getting caught by somebody like a Cambosis that you didn't think you would get caught by.
Right. Ain't none of them boys beating Tank though, so it's cool.
Nah, and they was talking about, I forgot to tell you, they talking about Tank anyway. What you think about that bullshit?
That would be like so many years down the line if it even does happen. You know?
Tank's I feel like Tank's too strong.
Yeah, I think Tank too strong. And then anyway, he would have to go up another 2 weight classes. He already went up 4 weight classes.
It'll be like Caleb Plant versus Canelo. It'll be like, okay, you slick, you moving, and you hit me with fights, but Tank will take them shots, and then once he hit you with one, you going down.
You're gonna be down, right? Yeah, and that fight wouldn't happen no time soon anyway. I don't even think Tank will be fighting that long, so I don't even think that fight even going nowhere there. Anyway, he's great though. Don't get me wrong for his he's great. I don't know what Fulton need to run that rematch too, but
Fulton. The thing about Fulton is he got the perfect example in Bernard Hopkins. If it really bothers you, you got whooped. Okay, I ain't going back over there. I'm gonna make Al Heyman put the money up over here, and I'm gonna get this dude.
Yeah, I think Fulton does want. He need to get his lick back over there too, because he got dominated crazy, and he was so scared and tentative in there.
He was. I mean, that long flight over there, and this is,
I do respect him for going over there, making that fight happen. Like,
hell no, you come over here.
Yeah, he should have made him come over there. He should have though, but I think I know they compensated him for that though. I know he got a pretty little penny for that.
Right, he got his bread. And then I want to say this before we get out of here, Des. I saw you see the look on AB's face last night when they tried to ask him about the fight.
About what fight?
The fight that he saw, Spence versus.
He didn't even say nothing, didn't he? He just walked off or something.
He just saw that he had like a salt look on his face, and I'm just like, I'm sitting there thinking, I was like, one or two things happened. Either reminded him of his ass whooping versus Maidana, or he did that stupid AB shit, and he bet a bunch of money on that, and he know he going to call Don King today. It's one or two.
Don to look out for him. Don to give it to him, but he going to have to pay it back with some.
Oh yeah,
he would have to pay that joint back. AB need to see what's up with him. He need to hurry up and get back in that ring too.
Yeah, he called out Prograis. Who knows? See, this is what might happen. And then let me get out of here because we got.
Yeah, no doubt, bro.
This I can see because Devin Haney's been calling Agent Broner out for like 7-8 years.
Oh, has he? Okay.
I can see Broner fighting in October. Since Broner kept on trying to call out Regis Prograis. And Prograis wanted it, but then Prograis, he want that money fight with Devin Haney.
Yeah.
What happened? Prograis loses to Broner. I mean, Prograis loses to Haney. And then right after that, for more bullshit time, because that's a bigger name, Haney turns around and fights Broner, or Prograis fights Broner sometime next year.
Right.
And then that's how the chips is going to fall. But I'll say this. Broner is on his way out the door, and that BLK Prime stuff didn't work. And as I told you, and even you talked about it, when you play around with boxing, you will see how, just 4 or 5 years ago, it was Jesse Vargas, and it was still all about AB. You've seen these last 2 or 3 years he's been inactive. All these fighters have come up. They've gotten bigger. They've gotten stronger. They've got names. And the big fight is not about AB, and nobody cares what's going on with AB. And the precious part of his career, he wasted flushing money down the toilet and doing a lot of nut stuff. But and I'm not doubting anybody. He could come back and be a 140 champion. But the way all these young lions and these young bulls is coming up, I doubt it. It's going to be hard.
I doubt it. Yeah, like I said, he would have to go the Rolly route then. That's the only way he would be able.
Progray, Rolly, or maybe going over to Ireland and fighting like a Josh Taylor.
Yeah, that's his only. Yeah, that's his only. He could get one of those. Yeah, him beating Rolly. That's the only way I would see him beat. I don't think he could beat T.O. or
and
even Progray might. I mean, him a Progray a little interesting too. We'll see. I mean, he might can if he could turn back to the OAB, but we don't know though. It's like you said, it's far fetched, yo. So I ain't too sure about that.
Yeah, he can get it, but it would have to be smart. And I don't think Al Heyman and them are going to give him Rolly. He done burnt bridges with them. You saw that big apology he wrote about it. He burnt bridges with them. I sent it to you when we get off. He burnt bridges. Okay. They're not going to give him that. I think his only way will be somebody non-PBC because PBC usually only does in-house fights unless it's a big pay-per-view.
Right.
So it'd have to be Progray. It'd have to be Josh Taylor. It'd have to be Teofimo Lopez. It'd have to be Devin Haney or somebody. He ain't gonna be able to get he ain't gonna be able to get that easy rolling money. But yeah, y'all, that's Dez's reaction.
Yes, sir. Appreciate it, bro.
Yeah, that was a good little pop up. I seen we had a couple viewers popping in here and there.
Yeah, I seen
and
that.
Crazy weekend, bro. And then I seen you this text, and we'll talk about Usyk, Dubois, and everything else. I think we got Better Be fighting this month too, so we got a couple good ones.
Yeah,
but
Better Be
watching that.
I did Paul up next, baby.
Next weekend, you can tell me about it on the because you the stream king. You can tell me about it next week. But anything else? Go ahead. What were you saying?
No, I said I got you. I'll let you know about the Jake Paul Nate Diaz fight, man.
And what you want? What fights you want to see before this year over? Before we get out of here, just this year.
I would like to see Tank fight one more time this year. No matter who it is, just want to get back in the ring, and just be active, He'll get the next big fight, but this year, I'm just looking forward to, probably just Canelo and Charlo. That's probably, I want to see how that shake out. Other than that, I don't know, yo. I ain't too.
Yeah, we got to see what happens with all these mandatories and these belts. And,
yeah, we got to see what's going to happen.
Yeah, we got to see what's going to happen around 135, 140, and then we got to see if Fury is forced to have to finally fight, if Jamal. And what's going on with Demetrius Andre? Like, I don't know, man. I don't know.
Yeah, he was supposed to get back in there soon too against Yeah, he need to get back in there too. We need him to get back in there. We need Charlo, Big Charlo to get back in there. ASAP. Him and Plant should fight. I would like to see that fight later this year. Then Charlo and Plant. That's what I would want to see this year. Then
that's nice.
I would see that.
So, yeah, bro. Good one chopping it up, bro. I'll hit you up in a minute.
Alrighty, bro. Take it easy, man.
All right, peace.
Peace.